Hi, this is Mark Washburn from Pond Algae Solutions, and this week I wanted to take a few questions, actually 5 questions on bacteria. Every summer and throughout the year we get questions galore on all kinds of topics, but obviously because we base much of our pond management on beneficial bacteria, we get a lot of questions about that. And so over time I accumulate a few of the more common ones, and in this video I want to address some of those and go over those very briefly with you. The first question, we came out about a month and a half ago with a product called Pond Biotics ME, and this is a pelletized form of highly concentrated beneficial bacteria. And it's really designed to sink down deep into a pond, in any size of pond, and begin to eat away the muck and gunk at the bottom. It's very targeted for that. But a common question we got about ME is Pond Biotics ME safe for fish? Are the pellets safe for the fish? Because I think they're going to eat them. Well, they do occasionally try to eat them. And the answer to the question is yes, they're totally safe for fish. In many cases, the fish will end up spitting them out. If they do eat a few, it won't hurt them at all. It's actually just beneficial bacteria, almost like a probiotic that we would take in ourselves, or eating yogurt or something like that. It actually can help their digestive tract and help balance those things out. And all in all, you want to get most of them where you intend, which is at the bottom of the pond. So if you have a feeding routine with your fish, feed them prior to, give them a good amount of food, try to get them satiated to a degree, and then apply the product, or get somebody to lure them to one side of the pond where they can be fed while you're applying the Pond Biotics ME in a particular area. That's another option. But even if your fish eat them, it's not going to be a problem. It won't hurt them at all. Second question, how fast will my pond clear up after applying bacteria? This is a difficult question to answer because every pond that we see and deal with is different. Nutrient loads are different. Influences are different. I have always said, and will continue to say, that bacteria is not intended as a quick fix, nor should it be looked upon as one. There are cases where we've applied bacteria, or our customers have done so, and the pond's literally cleared up within a week. There are others where it's taken several months. And it's all dependent on that balance point of once the nutrients are lowered enough where algae simply can't grow well, then clearing begins, and usually you can move forward from that point. But I do like to see changes in the first month if possible, if everything is going right. A lot of times you will see changes in the first month where algae will begin to regress, or maybe water will begin to clear a little bit. But by and large, pond bacteria should be looked at as not a sprint and not a marathon, but an ongoing approach to trying to keep your pond in great shape, or if your pond has gotten off or gotten in bad shape, to restore it in a non-chemical way, which is very holistic. And so this process can take some time, and it's going to vary from pond to pond. Another question, they say, okay, so a beneficial bacteria will consume nutrients and break down muck. We know that. What's left afterwards, or what is the byproduct of this process? Well, there's not a lot that's left. Actually, CO2, water, some simple sugars, and some inorganic elements that may be a part of the muck or whatever, those are usually what remain. The bacteria will generally consume any kind of nutrient, phosphates, nitrates, micronutrients that may be a part of it. They will consume some simple sugars and continue to recycle those through. But all in all, when you're done, there isn't anything that's necessarily bad or a bad byproduct. They literally clean the pond up in so many ways, and they don't leave any bad residue. And so that's one of the reasons that they're so useful. And quite frankly, it shouldn't be as a surprise, because nature knows what it's doing. Most of these forms of bacteria have been found in nature for eons. They've just been either formulated together or formulated in a way that is more useful to ponds. And so they're very, very natural in the way that they work, and they don't leave any harmful byproducts at all. Will bacteria help with my waterfall area? It's a tough call on this one, because the way I have always looked at beneficial bacteria is that it does a good job of colonizing in the pond body. It can help with algae there, and it will colonize in a biofilter if you have one, as well as in other places in your system. But waterfalls can be somewhat challenging. You always get a constant flow of water there. It's very shallow. Sometimes it's exposed to sun. And so it's a tough area to control. Most of the time, a beneficial bacteria product will not help in a waterfall stream bed or on the rocks or waterfall area. For that, I use a product called Algae Off, which is a granulated hydrogen peroxide based algicide. It's very safe to use with bacteria. You apply it right on top of the algae growth. After turning the water flow off, you leave the rocks wet and the stream bed wet. You apply the granules over it, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then turn the water flow back on. And any residue will wash into the water, get diluted, and become basically harmless very, very quickly. You want to make sure with that product that the granules are all cleaned up. Don't leave them around for birds or bees to pick up because they are lightly caustic. But by and large, that's the best way to target these waterfall areas with a product like that. Some people have to apply Algae Off once a week to keep it clean. Other ones can go much longer than that. It's going to vary from pond to pond, but that's the best way to keep waterfall areas clean, in my opinion. And finally, a question we've been getting a lot lately: what's the difference between the Biosphere Pro products and the Pond Biotics products? Biosphere Pro is something we've had for many years. Pond Biotics is relatively new. You'll see a big price difference too on some of these products. The Biospheres, from small to large, are generally considered more affordable. They're more of a time release system. They're not as strong, not as potent as the Pond Biotics, and they're really meant for long-term management. They've cleaned up a lot of ponds right from the get-go, but they are really a time release system of gradual management. Pond Biotics, on the other hand, is a new level of pond bacteria and performance. It's extremely concentrated, 10 times concentrated compared to many of the formulas that you see on the market today. Most of the bacterial formulations you find on the market today are really made up of only 1 or 2 strains of bacteria and 1 strain primarily. With Pond Biotics, we have a balanced array of bacteria in the mix, as well as micronutrients, vitamins, all kinds of different things that help the performance of this bacteria work better. It is, especially the Pond Biotics 10, you may notice, it is pretty expensive, but it does go a long way, and it is very concentrated. The Pond Biotics ME, which is a pelletized version of the formula, is extremely targeted to muck and sludge reduction, and it is extremely effective for what it does. Both of those tools should be used with very good aeration in your pond. They're very, very potent tools. The Biospheres are definitely a great option for people, but the 2 products are different, and it depends a lot on your pond, its needs, your budget, what you're looking to do. Are you trying to control algae mid-season, or are you getting a good start right from the beginning? These are all factors that may weigh into your decision as to what to use, but they're both very good, viable products for helping clean up a pond, bring it back into good shape, restore it to a good point of vitality and clarity, and they do so safely and effectively without the use of chemicals. And so we're happy to have both of those available. If you have any questions about any of these things or other questions about bacteria that I didn't cover here, feel free to contact us at pondalgaesolutions.com. We're always happy to help and to try to help clear up your pond issues. So I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Enjoy your pond, and we'll see you again real soon.